player signed to the IAL. Welcome, International Arena League fans. The season is right around the corner, and things are certainly beginning to heat up. Who could be the first player signed to the IAL? What other coaches will coach Hollywood duel against? Who will be the final team to join the league? Today, we will be joined by one of the greatest athletes to grace the field in our sport. Stay tuned to the IAL, the greatest show in arena football, and be ready for the global takeover.
Hey everyone, welcome to Live with the IAL. I'm Corrine Lewis, Director of Fan Experience, and with me today is my co-host, the first head coach in the IAL, and my dear friend, Hollywood. How you doing, Hollywood?
How are you? How are you?
I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you.
It has been. I don't know why it feels that way, but it definitely feels that way. So I'm excited to be on today.
I know. Sure. I'm so excited. I'm 10:30 p.m. here in Glasgow, Scotland. So we're on a little bit of a time difference, but we're making it work.
Absolutely. Where's your next stop?
Our next stop, when we leave here, we go to Nottingham, England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been a whirlwind. We're on day 11.
Okay. So, okay. Getting through it. You getting through it. Getting through it.
So listen, I'm gonna make just a couple of quick announcements. As always, ask you 2 questions from our fans. We'll chop it up just for a few minutes about the tour, and then we're going to bring on our very special guest that we have been wanting to talk with for I think since our live started. So let's get going if that's okay with you.
Let's do it.
Okay, so listen, everyone, for those of you who are our loyal fans and watchers, subscribers, you've heard this before, but for those of you who are new to our lives, the first announcement I'm going to make is about the most amazing program that we have in the IAL, which is called Fans Win 2. And what that is if you are a season ticket holder to any team in the IAL, our COO, Tom Mitchell, is going to renew your season tickets for free for the 2027 season. And Hollywood and I, from day one that we heard this, we both been just like, what do we say? What do we say, Hollywood?
It's never been done before. You never heard of this before.
And only who would do it?
TM.
Only Tom Mitchell. That's
only
right.
Tom Mitchell.
Yeah. So listen, everybody, please go to IALfootball.com. That's our main website. Check it out. Find out, which of our 11 teams right now, which of our 11 teams you're going to go get your season tickets for. Get those tickets because, you're going to want to be ready to go. Whatever team maybe you're on Hollywood's team. Maybe you're going to be, or maybe you're going to be rivaling Hollywood. We'll see. But I know Coach is convinced that he's going to be in the national championship. So with that being said, also please go and follow all of our socials. Okay. So we're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Where else, Hollywood? Where else are we?
We're everywhere. Twitter, TikTok. You name it, we're there. All social media outlets, find us. We're there. We're posting. We're getting people excited. We're putting out information. Find us on one of the social media outlets.
Absolutely. And listen, we're talking to Coach right now, guys. So our DMs are blowing up. We love it. Getting tons of messages. I'm getting text messages from coaches across the country and former players. And they want to know, hey, how can I get involved in the International Arena League? So what you can do is go to the IAL players page and actually can submit your application or information right there. You can go to our main website as well and hit the player submission page. But this is the time to do it. Okay. So coaches and players, let's get active and get involved. Okay. And Hollywood, we're going to be making really big announcements over the next couple of lives. We have some personnel and some other things that we're going to be talking about. So Make sure you guys are tuning in to us. Okay. We are here Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern with our Commissioner Dan Lust, and we're here every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with our head coach, Coach Hollywood. Okay. And also, with that being said, I just mentioned, Hollywood, that we have 11 teams that we've announced. So guess what? December 15th on our documentary, we're going to reveal who our 12th team is for the 2026 season. So this documentary, guys, we brought it up, but I've been out here with our director of video, Elijah. He's brilliant, Hollywood. He's absolutely brilliant. And the things that I've been watching him do, and this documentary he's been putting together, I mean, I'm so excited to see it. And so, to learn more about how we're putting this league together, and my gosh, we've been in Germany, we've been in Switzerland, now we're in Glasgow, Scotland right now. We're heading to Nottingham, England. You guys do not want to miss this documentary. Hats off to Elijah, and find out who that 12th team is. Okay. So with that being said, Hollywood, I think I have 2 questions from some fans. I don't think they're too incredibly difficult, but
okay, that's good. That's good.
Right?
They've been making me think lately.
So our first question is from Hiroba Sushi, and he wants to know, how can the IAL evolve the world of football?
Well, first and foremost, us being in different countries, right, and bringing arena football all over the world, we're just bringing education, right? We're bringing the education part of Americanized football. But not only is it American football, it is a different form of our original American football. So we are bringing that form of football over to different countries and getting them acclimated to some of the things we're doing here in America, and how it can evolve. It just it's always good to have a little bit of change, right, and doing stuff differently. So some people like certain things, some people like other. So just having a variety and option of different things. I believe arena football has been around for years now, and it's always been something that families and children and sports lovers love to see, because it's so fast, and the hits are hard, and there's a wall, and it's high scoring, and it's polytechnic. So it's entertainment, right? It's pure entertainment, and that roller coaster of emotions and everything that's going on when it comes down to the just the entertainment part of it and the product we put on the field, football. It's just I believe it's going to evolve and grow all over the country.
Absolutely. So Hiroba, there's your answer. And Clifford Harrison wants to know, where is the ball positioned for a PAT, or do they have to go for 2 points?
No, it regular PAT 2.5 yard line, 2 yard line, somewhere around there. I'm sorry, you put me on the spot. It's one of those yard lines over there, so you don't have to go, but you do have the option to go for 2. Yeah, okay. So you could go for 2, or you could kick the PAT just like regular American football.
Okay, perfect. So listen, we're just going to talk quickly about the trip. I mean, we did just a little bit, but so, we visited the arena in Stuttgart. We visited the arena in Dusseldorf. We visited the arena in Zurich. And tomorrow, Elijah and I are going to be heading over to Braehead Arena and get to see that. So as you know, Hollywood, I've been, trying to put it on social media, on my live, or not my lives, but my stories, and give kind of everybody a sneak peek. Well, I tell you what, none of these arenas have disappointed. It has been absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to see Braehead. And just being in Scotland, this is my first time in Scotland. I've been to Europe many times, but oh my gosh, Hollywood, these people, they are so fun and fun loving and good. And they're some of them, are like, oh, okay, American football. And then some of them are like, really, tell us more about it. And they're really into it. They're really receptive. So Yeah, we're going to also go to Brayhead after the tour. Elijah and I are going to watch a hockey
game. Okay.
Hockey match.
Okay.
A hockey game. This will be my first hockey game ever. So
hockey is normally really good in person. I definitely love watching hockey in person. But yes, I've been following your stories, what have you, and the way you're capturing the arenas and just the suite areas and different things. The arenas have not. I mean, they've been gorgeous. And I'm showing friends and family already. Look where we're going to be playing. These are some of the arenas we're going to be visiting, and it's just I'm just excited to play there in front of their fans.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. If you like my stories, you're going to be mind blown at Elijah's documentary. That's exciting. So
sure.
Okay. So that's kind of catching everybody up. So this is the part. Hollywood, this part we love the most. This is where we get to talk to our special guests. So let's watch this clip.
Giving Cooper earlier, everybody on their feet, honoring Hunkie and Wolf. A guy like Hunkie, we talk about the best, arguably the best two-way player in the history of the league. Folks know what he does on integrity.
Yeah, and you mentioned the fact he was a two-way player. You know what? He might be the best special teams player ever to play.
Today, we are joined by one of the greatest to do it in the arena, a true legend and someone that continues to impact the game. International Arena League fans, please welcome Hunkie Cooper.
Yay! Woo! That makes me want to stand up, Hollywood.
That is great. That is great.
Man, how are you doing, Hunkie?
I'm doing amazing. I'm just ecstatic that to be a part of your show and you in Hollywood and you're promoting a game that I really love and was able to impact my life and the life of so many others. It gave me a stage for a kid that's from East Texas, that's the 8th or 10 kids. Father fought in World War II in Vietnam, and my mother was a maid, but it was coaches that came into my life that saved my life. So I swore that I would use this platform to honor people by the way I played the game and the people that poured into me. And so you talk about all the accolades and being one of the best players in the world. All that is that I had big shoulders to stand on. I stood on the shoulders of giants, and you know, my teammates, all the honors and accolades that I received was not about me. It was a direct impact of my teammates and my ownership group and the people the fans more than anything. So for me, you know, it was just a great ride, and to be the best in the world at what you've done because of other people, it's a contagious deal. And I'm happy to see that you guys are going international with the Arena Football League, because this is a game that impacts lives and it impacts communities, and it was an amazing run for me. I remember playing in Paris, and George LaFrance, who was the guy I modeled my game after, they were saying Le Catcher, you know, and I'll never forget that. But I really appreciate you guys inviting me on and let me share my story. But more than anything, I really appreciate that you are allowing people to continue their dreams and to chase them, and to allow them to have a stage to go out and tell their stories on a 50-yard field.
Well, I appreciate that so much, and I know Hollywood does as well. And you know, just hearing you speak, it's no wonder that you're so revered, and what a humble person. But you're just a great role model. So with that being said, I'm the director of fan experience for the International Arena League, and so you know, my focus, my whole job is the fans. And Tom Mitchell, when he decided to bring me on, you know, he really made that crystal clear that, look, the fans are everything. Without them, we don't have a league. We are nothing without our fans. And so they are the absolute focus of this league. And with that being said, Hunkie, tell us, what do the fans mean to you?
They're everything. People that I've been mentors to their kids, and you know, that was our whole deal, was to drive the fan base in Arizona. We were the first professional team to win a world title, and our fans, we sold out that arena for probably the first 14 years of my career there. And the when you are fan friendly and you have people that love what you do, and you have to pour into them. So I remember us doing reading programs, going in doing, Arizona Reading Week. We would go into elementary schools and read. We would go to the side of town where people didn't have the resources or the finances to support it, and we would donate 250 tickets. We would go to the young ladies' soccer fields. We would go everywhere to get our game out because we knew we had a great product. We would have 4 hot dogs, 4 tickets, 4 parking, and 4 seats for $100. And, so you can't find anything else in the world like that. And at one time, when I started when I started the Arena Football League Players Organizing Committee, we were able to have sustainability. We had the best collective bargaining agreement for 10 years in work and labor peace. And it was about everybody else. It wasn't about money. It was about the experience. And the fans had Cooper's Corner in American West Airlines Arena. And everywhere we went, fans cheer for you. I helped start the Utah Blues with Danny White, who's my mentor. And the fans are everything. Without the fans, there's no product. And so when you can go into the community and once you have to do, all you have to do is get them in the building. Once you get them in the building, the show is going to take over. And their hearts, and if they're really genuine football fans, they will cater to that. They will fill up and sell out every arena. And the other thing is there's an intimate setting. It's not 65,000 people you're away from them. I remember, meeting a 70-year-old lady when I caught a ball and got knocked over the wall, and I kind of knocked her beer in the face. And we've been friends ever since. So, it's the most, but the thing is you impact the lives of young people. And the one thing that professional athletes and superstars and people in the world don't give is access. Arena football is always given access. And when you give access, and it's not often when you get to see Michael Jordan. It's not often that you get to see, Klay Thompson. It's not often you get to see a lot of these stars, but we are people that we go find you. And we make sure that we know your name and we know your story and we know your personal business, and then we support your business, and when one supported, everybody supported. But the fan experience, especially for the Arizona Rattlers, the San Jose SaberCats, and the Orlando Predators, and all those teams that really were original teams, and the Chicago Bruisers are just a nip of what it is. And now you guys are talking international. I think it's the most amazing thing you could do, because when you get international support in a sport like arena football, the sky is the limit. And you guys just go out and market it. And the best marketing tool you ever have are those guys that wear those uniforms and getting them out in public and creating access for the fans.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you for that wisdom. So listen, I want to give the fans an opportunity just to get to know, you a little bit better. Of course, they, adore you on the football field, but I want them to hear, the dynamic man that you are. So you're from Texas. You were a multi-sport athlete in high school where you played quarterback. You attended junior college where you won the national championship. And then you made your transition into UNLV, where I understand you played 6 different positions. And so my question for you is, what was your college experience like? Take us through your journey on what it was like to be Hunkie Cooper in college.
Well, it's it's not as pretty as you think. I was when I left at Westwood High School, I played football, baseball, basketball, and I ran track. We had to be involved in sports. We had to be, because sports that's where you learn your character. That's where you learn your mental toughness. That's where you learn your accountability, availability, and durability. And so it was no ifs, ands, or buts. My mother wasn't made for 30 years. My father passed away when I was 14. That's when I became a man. That's why I wore number 14. And everywhere that I've worn it, it's been retired, or I'm in the Hall of Fame. And again, it had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with every Hall of Fame that I was inducted to is because I have a soulmate in my wife, Tiffany. We've been together. I met her 32 years ago, and we've been married for 25 of those at UNLV. But I started out at Trinity Valley Community College, and I had a roommate named John Randall. So you might know John Randall. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame, and that was my buddy. And we both come from humble beginnings, and we just worked. I was a quarterback there, and running my mouth. I thought I knew everything. I was already a father, so my mom made me stay close to home. So I put myself on child support at 18, and my stipend check was going to my kids and insurance. After I didn't get that, my mindset, it was a fair opportunity. I was just young, and they wanted to develop me more and wanted to redshirt me. So I left, and I went to Navarro College. And won the 1989 national championship. Went undefeated, and doors opened then. I had about 8 or 9 offers D1. I went to UNLV. And the reason I went to UNLV, I had an equipment guy that was on the road between the changing of staff. His name is Paul Pucciarella, and he told my mother that I know a lot of schools want your son, but I can guarantee he's going to get his college degree. And that was it. So I came to UNLV. I started to play quarterback. I played punt return, kick return. I played tailback. I played slot, and I played corner. So I was a 2-time All-American at UNLV, and actually I played football, baseball, and basketball at Navarro as well. So I just played the game. I just knew the mindset it would take. I knew the skill set it would take, but I knew the hardest part about it was would I be able to put in the work. And so getting to UNLV, being an All-American, and played with a guy named Keenan McCardle and Henry Berry. They played with a lot of talented guys. I've never been the most talented, but I've been a guy that I'm a team guy, and I'm going to do whatever it is to make our teams good. So being at UNLV, I played for a guy named Tom Cable. I played for a guy named Chuck Pagano, Scott Linehan, Jeff Horton. And, all those guys were NFL head coaches for a minute. And so they impacted my life with the discipline and the structure that you need to be successful. And not only in football, but as a father, as a husband, as a grandfather. And I was a pretty good football player, but I'm a better husband and father and grandfather than anything ever in this world. And I'm about people. And to work for Jerry Colangelo in the Arena Football League. And after I left UNLV, I went to the CFL, came back. I was with the BC Lions for a little while, came back, went to work to finish my degree up at UNLV. And a guy named Pete Catella would come in every day looking for me. And I'm like, I'm thinking somebody's looking for me like I owe him money, or I knew I was in good standing. So he said, I want you to come and try out for the Arizona Rattlers. I said, well, I won't come and try out. I said, I'll come to camp. I came to camp. I was 4th-string receiver. And by the time the season started, I was the number 1 guy and ended up with 1,400 yards receiving, 1,400 yards in return, and I was MVP of Arena Football League. And that created an opportunity for me to go back, and the NFL, the New Orleans Saints, signed me to a contract. I got there and was there for some of not the mini camp, but all the fall workouts and summer workouts. And then I got picked up by the Dallas Cowboys, never got an offer sheet, so I flew back to Arizona that night on the 10th day of waivers, and I scored 5 touchdowns against the Charlotte Rage. So Arena football was where I wanted to be. So that in turn brought me to, if this game is as good as it is to me and people, we need to make sure it has stability. So, and that's when the AFLPA and the AFLPOC, which is the Arena Football League Player Organizing Committee. I wanted to start a committee because if you unionize, they can lock you out and you can strike. But if it was an organizing committee, everybody would play the game, and we would just enhance the game that we knew was a valuable asset. And a lot of young people are about money. I researched all the right-to-work states and, how can we make this game sustainable? And I went back and researched all the things of, in 1987, in playing brief free agency with the NFL, and we were able to get our game become the 5th major sport because hockey went on strike, and the rest is history. I worked for a great owner in Brian Colangelo and Jerry Colangelo. The family was amazing. They're Chicago people, and Danny White was the only head coach that I knew. I got offered many, many jobs to go to other teams, but I would take pay cuts, and believe it or not, I made $18,000 as the MVP of the Arena Football League. Played 24 games. They had 15 regular season, 3 preseason, and 3 postseason, and that was the best times of my life.
Oh, I'm just amazed, and I'm sure Hollywood knows a little bit more about this. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions and then pass the torch over. But and Hunkie, you clearly are, like I said it before, you're a very humble person. But when you're speaking to our fans and our viewers, you're speaking literally across the world. And if you wouldn't mind, I want to tell them, if they don't already know, some of the things that you accomplished. You are absolutely undeniably, you are an Arena football legend, and so you deserve the recognition. You're a 2-time Arena Bowl champion, AFL MVP, 4-time first team All Arena, 2-time AFL Ironman of the Year, 2-time AFL All Ironman Team, AFL's 20 greatest players in 2006, AFL's 25 greatest players in 2012, You're an Arena Football Hall of Fame inductee, and Arizona Rattlers retired your jersey. With all that being said, I guess in a nutshell, what does Arena Football mean to you?
Everything. I was, going to down at football field for my friends, my teammates. My greatest fear was letting them down. And so I prepared in a way that if I'm the guy that's checking the play, I better know what I'm checking to. So for every 1 hour film they watched, I watched 10. I wanted to be right. I wanted to always be in a position to get us out of a bad play and to get us into a great situation. But the most important thing was the teammates that I had at Arizona, we played for each other. It wasn't about, obviously the end game is to become the world champions, but we played for each other every single day. We were genuine friends. Our kids grew up together, and Arena Football gave me an opportunity that other leagues didn't. And I wanted to honor the Arena Football League the way that they honored me. My teammates, I would give back every championship ring, every MVP trophy, every Ironman trophy. I would give all of that back for an opportunity to play for a championship with my teammates, because there's really no individual achievement. You may get the MVP, but that had everything to do with Randy Gaywood getting the interception. It had everything to do with Cecil Doggett and Mark Tucker and Bo Kelly and Cedric Bonner and Calvin Shakespeare and Herb Duncan. That had something to do with JT and our front office staff. It had something to do with Pete Youngers, our field guy, our trainers, Matt and John Singh. It had something to do with everybody in the organization. So the standard that you set for yourself, you want everybody else to have a part of that standard. And so the things they didn't see were when we wasn't getting paid in the off season, and I worked till 11:45 at night, and I go train from 12 o'clock midnight till about 3 in the morning. And then the 1997 championship team, when I cut my toes off 2 days before training camp. I would train. I had plastic surgery, and I couldn't train, so I would sneak out at 4 in the morning and train, and just to get ready. I had to get a custom-made shoe, but I was no way I was going to let my teammates down. And that was the year we beat the Iowa Barnstormers and Kurt Warner and those guys. So, but there are a lot of great people in this game. From, everybody knew Fred McNair, but nobody knew, Steve, but nobody knew Fred. Antonio Brown, everybody hear about Antonio, but his dad, Eddie. You talk about Barry Wagner. You talk about Les Moss. You talk about Danny White, Doug Kay. You talk about all the people that Mike Hohensee and the people that made the game the game. Everybody has ability, but the accountability that we took as players and stewards of the game and making sure that our fans had a great experience and signing autographs after games for hours, signing autographs in the Arizona Mall for 15 hours, doing whatever it took to make the fan base strong. I don't know if I could have done it any other way. All I know was to give of myself. And the relationships that I built in Arizona are still there. And I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to let us know that, to put this on a national syndicate podcast, that this game is it's a genuine game where people grow and develop and build character, and they genuinely love each other. It's not about the money. You're never going to get rich playing this game.
Right.
And you're never going to make $1 million, but you will impact 1 million lives.
Wow. Well, I think it's amazing that you just said that, because it leads perfectly into my next question for you. You had an amazing coaching career as well. And, now you're back where it all started at UNLV, as the director of football player development. My question for you, Hunkie, and I am now going to pass the torch over to Hollywood. If you could give any advice to any young men that are coming up through the ranks today, what advice would you give them?
Is to listen to the people that's traveled the path that you're trying to travel. Don't learn from your mistakes, learn from the mistakes of others. Hollywood, he gains nothing by giving you bad information or misinformation. And the one thing in this world is right now is, if the world was a locker room, we wouldn't have these issues that we have, because it's not about black or white or race or religion. It's about accountability. And if I trust you, to do your job. We don't see that in football. We don't see that in a team sport. It's the ultimate team sport. It teaches you character. It teaches you humility. It teaches you humbleness. It teaches you toughness. And this game is, you take that into your personal life. You take that into your private life. You take that into your business life. And at the end of the day, you stand for something. And so for me, everything that I've ever done in my life, football has been the basis. The early to bed, they say early to bed, early to rise, and make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that's been the deal with football. You give so much of yourself and you depend on people that depend on you. So the best thing I could tell you in this deal is to learn from other people's experience when they're giving it to you.
I love that. Hollywood, go ahead and take it away.
Oh, man, first off, it is an absolute pleasure, Coach, to have you on this podcast with us. I would like to say it's men, player, coaches like you who paved the way for an arena guy like myself, who started off playing young as well, right, fresh out of college, and using the arena game as a platform to get where I wanted to go. But I just appreciate the hard work and the effort and the blood, sweat, and tears that you put forth in the earlier game to create a platform for a player like myself to come behind you and make a living, make a life out of arena football, because arena football has been a game that was financing my life when I played. Now it's a job for me. So this arena football game has really been a huge, intricate part to who I am as a man and who I am as a person. But it's because of players and coaches like yourself, Coach Cooper. And I definitely appreciate it. And I'm going to speak for all the young arena guys who have played this game. We'd like to say thank you. What the young guys said, to our OGs who came before us and paved the way for we can have a platform to be successful as well and try to impact community, lives, and people. So thanks again, Coach.
Thank you, man, for carrying the torch, man. It takes a lot of responsibility to give everything that you believe in to somebody else. And you can't be selfish with it. There's good days, there's bad days, but there's days, and for you guys to continue to carry the torch and to talk about doing this thing internationally, man, is beyond my wildest dreams. Like I said, we traveled with Paris, we played in Paris, it was one game, but for you guys to have it as a season, man, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm an arena football guy. That's what I am. And, I started a team from the ground up, expansion team, and I know how hard it is to be sustainable with different owners and contracts with players and contracts with arenas. But at the end of the day, once you get that all taken care of and you get the product on the field, that's what's going to close the deal for you. And the one thing I want to tell you is make sure you put people out there that represent you. And make no mistake about it. They either represent or misrepresent you, or they represent or misrepresent the game. I never wanted to misrepresent the game. And so I tried it every week that I played the game. I played as hard as I could, as long as I could. And I averaged over the 13, 14 years that I played, I averaged 100 plays a game. And I played the last one played just as hard as I did the first play, because I had a responsibility to the fans that were paying their hard-earned dollars to bring their kids to see us, but also had a responsibility off the field to be the type of guy that your kid would want to be represented by. A lot of times now there's a misrepresentation once we're off the football field, and you have to be one person, man. And I really appreciate how hard you guys work. I know the work that goes into it, and to going from the playing side to the business side of it, and it's a tough deal. But you guys are cut forward, man. And if there's anything I could do, don't hesitate to reach out. I was with the San Diego Strike Force trying to help them out. When the Las Vegas teams come here, I go to support Mike Davis, and they're the world champions here in the IFL, and there's so many different versions of it. But to me, it's arena football. And you can name it the IFL, you can name it whatever you want to name it, but it's arena football. And we're the best athletes in the world that aren't millionaires, but we love what we do.
I definitely agree. So to try to tie in the International Arena League and arena football in itself, when it come from the point from when you all played and now, right, as you said, these I'm coaching. I'm at a prep school now in Connecticut. By the way, and just the level of mentality and discipline and things are different now that money and different things are involved. And not only that, just when it comes down to just the style of player, the mentality of a player. How do you think that? I'm sure you're aware of the game now, where you guys were Iron Man. It's full platoon arena football now. You don't do both. You do either play offense or you play defense, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, what's your take on the difference in the game?
I like the original game. Okay. I like the original game with the substitution rules because that's what's made it unique. You substitute one time and it's Iron Man football. Now that player that you substitute one play and he hurts his knee or get a concussion, now the guy that started that quarter, now he's a real deal. Now this guy got to play the whole game. That's why the rosters are limited. The same thing as, that's what made our game so perfect, the uniqueness of it. The uniqueness of it, the rules of it, playing the ball off the iron, and then not being able to leave the box, the restrictions and the way you play the game. Your best pass rusher to the boundary, give him a two-way go, but you can't leave the box. And so all the records of guys like Bo Kelly and Sia Burley and Calvin Shake Snyder and Barry Wagner, those records will all be broken because of the limitations have been lifted. So I cater to guys that can play the game. They're complete players, but they're complete people as well. And so I had a concept that when I went on that football field, I had a ticket concept. I'm going to rip that ticket. I'm going to be the last one out of the locker room. I'm going to come out on that football field. And everybody nowadays listen to rap music. I used to listen to gospel music because if I died doing what I did or if I hurt somebody, I wanted to be protected by God. And so I played the game like I was willing to die out there every single play. And that double team me on the kickoff. I know they double team me, so I'm going to eyeball this kid and I'm going to jump through the next one head. Okay. And so I knew my deal was if we got somebody out of the game, now the game becomes harder. If you block the field goal or how to flip the possessions. So the whole game, we studied the game. Now it's just about ability. Ability, you can win. It's high school, same thing. You win with ability. There's no more accountability, availability, durability. In 15 years of arena football and 18 years of professional football, I missed 2 games. So that's the mentality now. So it's like now everybody expects things rather than respects things. I respected that we had a arena football league game and I had an arena to go to every week and I had to practice every day and you're going to get to play 16 games and you're going to, you got that war line forward with Orlando and Tampa and then Arizona and San Jose, Chicago and Albany. You had all those natural rivalries with really, really good players. And then we had a market that everybody supported. Everywhere you went, the market was supported. Arena football, the fans, the towels. And then when you play at that neutral site for that world title and they announce your name, you come out there and you're looking at the coin toss and you see all the fans are there and the people that love you and you play that game just as hard as you played the first one, man. And then after the game, everybody kneel down and pray and thank God for the opportunity, thank God for the sport, thank God for the fans. It's no longer about that. It is a me generation now to where everybody wants to pat their chest. When we pat our chest in our day, we were saying my bad. When I talk about expecting rather than respecting, and I mean they expect to make all the money, but they mispractice. Right. They expect to get a lucrative contract. I want $250 for every touchdown I score. What about giving me $250 back for the ones you drop? But everybody's so. The game that I love was protected. We had labor peace, and we had guys that really – it's like college football right now. In college football, you might love a college, but that college has to love you back. This may be where you want to go and spend the rest of your life, but you don't fit that. And so I went to a college that chose me, and I chose them. And 35 years later, I'm back at the alma mater where I'm assistant athletic director, director of football player development, NFL liaison, community engagement. But I have a relationship with the city of Las Vegas, the state of Nevada, and all the people that encompass it. And so the things you do for yourself die and go to the grave, but the things you do for others create a legacy that you cannot live. And I'm currently in those days.
Again, we just appreciate you, Coach. You're just a bright spot in the community on and off the field, and we need more coaches and players like you with your mentality, your mindset. And I'm going to still expect instead of respect. I have to steal that. I'm gonna tell that to my football team in my meeting tomorrow at 1:20. So I'm just letting you know. I'm taking that one. That is great. And I just appreciate you again because I learned something from you today, just listening to you and just your mentality. I've always been a student of the game. So just listening at you and how you did it and why you did it is it's a breath of fresh air, man. And thanks again.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Take care, and we'll be following and watching what you're doing as well. So thank you for your support, and hopefully we'll have you back again.
Hope to see you guys soon. Thank you for what you do, and I'll definitely be at the Orleans, watching them play. So good luck and take care.
Thank you so much. So everybody, it's being able to talk to amazing people such as Hunkie Cooper. Hollywood, I know you've been watching him, and hey, we've been talking about him for a long time. So that was a very, very special treat for us, for our viewers. With that being said, everyone, I'm heading with Elijah to Nottingham on Saturday, and we'll be touring that arena as well. So we have a lot to throw at you guys over the next few lives. And with that being said, once again, please go to IALfootball.com. Check out the website, find your team. Each team has its own website. Each team has its own social media. So once you decide who it is you're going to support, please go follow those pages, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? A lot of the big announcements and big reveals we're going to be doing will be on our YouTube. And Hollywood, can you think of anything else?
So we got be there or be square.
That's about it. Okay. All right, you guys, we appreciate you so much. Go get your tickets, okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.